Goldmine in essence is us packaging our life experiences that we've had and sending it out to other people to develop themselves. So in essence, what we're trying to do is take their raw abilities, raw skills that they've gained from different vices or various trades, but get them to open up their minds to think differently.
For me, it was humbling because Brixton is home for me. I never lived here, but it played a major part in my story coming up. And it was an honour to be given the opportunity to come to help some of the young people come out of a lot of the things that they were involved in. So when I heard that, I was over the moon. I was humbled at the same time.
Second, the pregnant woman.
Okay.
Third, the doctor.
I imagine she's giving birth.
That's even more. That's what I'm saying. Keep us in the game.
But you know, that little exercise that we've done is part of this whole presentation today, success motivation, because that boat in essence is life. And how people value you is how they will take to you. So if I don't have much value for you, I'm going to discard you. You know, you're never going to be positioned for someone's, if they think about doing something big, they won't think about you because your value to them is this much. I don't know if you ever heard the saying that says, someone that's always making excuses, you start to devalue that person. Goldmine is something that it provokes thought. And I think Angell Town is one of those places that the media portrays as almost helpless, and they kind of just shun them to the side and to the shadows, and they will deal with themselves. And those are the kind of places that we want, because that's where you feel change the most. To grow up or to mature is a choice. You can either decide to stay in the same place, same surroundings, same problems, or you can decide to develop yourself, to increase yourself, so have a goal. But the moment you start investing in yourself, investing in your personality, so taking out things that don't necessarily build you or advance you, take them out. Things like anger, things like negative thoughts, things like comparing yourself to others. Once you start taking those things out and you start putting things in that inspire you, so the things you listen to, the things you watch, the people that you're around. I always say if you don't have people that are inspiring you, then change your circle of friends, change your circle of influence. Because it works two ways. You're either influencing someone or something, or it's influencing you.
So far from the Goldmine session, I've gained that to understand the profession that I'm trying to get into, it needs to be 80% mindset and 20% skill. And in order to be able to talk to the young people and advocate everything that I'm learning within uni and 2020, hopefully I'll be able to deliver sessions soon.
I think for me it's just been, reinforcement of how much your mindset affects your reality. I think sometimes it's quite easy to forget. You kind of focus on, I've got to do this, X, Y, and Z, and you don't really put much focus into your mindset and the things you think.
It's made me think a bit more than I did before, and it's like also helping me in like my day-to-day life and the stuff that I do, and like thinking before I say certain things, before I do certain things.
So you can go into schools and go into the organisation, they can come to you as well. So
where they're at right now is like they're actually finding out what they want to do. I feel like they're getting to know themselves, which is kind of bittersweet, because it's a bit like, wow, these young people really didn't have a clue before. For me, I realised that these young people didn't have no idea who they was, what they wanted, and I think they're starting to realise that, whoa, I can actually have a career or do something that's aligned with who I am as a person. And I think they're all realising it, and it's like, they still want to front to their friends a little bit, but then they really want to stay behind and get the extra work and get the time, and they're really willing to learn and get the information. So it's really inspiring to see the growth.
They were a lot more engaged in the conversations, the group discussions that we were having. They opened up a little bit more than they've done in the past sessions. So I think it's really sparked thoughts for them in what they want to do.
So the ideas that you've been sharing in this room today, don't belittle them in any way. Don't think about them and think, oh yeah, this is just a session, a group session that we're having. But think about how you can actually make these ideas a reality.
Already I'm starting to see some of these changes. I've become a lot more reflective and patient as well. I feel as a young male, sometimes you put yourself under a lot of pressure to have material success by a certain amount of age, by a certain age. I already see myself taking my time and thinking more long term, like 5, 6 years ahead of time instead of like next month or next year.
Young people engage in today's session well because of the session content, the way the session was delivered to them. They bought into the session, they were attentive, they were listening, and the way they interacted with each other in the different groups that they were in.
Many times you find that in society today, you find a lot of people that they can pick a problem out very, very quick. They can pick out a problem, you know, Brixton's rubbish or South London is rubbish, you know, there's jobs in East London, or how come everyone's making it over there? The fact that you figured out that there's a problem, why can't you be the person that provides the solution? If you could spark one person's imagination in what they call a concrete jungle, it's only a matter of time before it starts to affect everybody else around there. So I believe if we can affect the young people that we've got, and the more we've got 10, 15 young people, if we can set those 10, 15 on a course to change, they'll change the whole of Brixton, let alone Angell Town, so it's been needed.
A lot of the young people that we come across now, they're just following the crowd or following the wind, because there is no crowd. Wherever the wind blows is where they go. So I think us coming here is kind of showing them that you don't have to be that way. You don't have to just go with the flow. You can actually stand your ground, believe in something, and go out and achieve it.